In mini containers, all players simultaneously have the cleaning jitters and a cleanup rage. The goal of the game is to get rid of all the cards in your hand. The main difficulty is that you will need to separate your waste, and the different waste containers will not have enough room for all the players. Welcome to my Kickstarter preview of mini containers. Hey everyone, this is Pythagoras, and today I'm bringing you my Kickstarter preview of mini containers. Before I show you how the game works, let me guide you through the setup first. First, you shuffle all the cards and form a face down draw pile. Then you deal 13 cards from this draw pile to each player to form their starting hand. The player who most recently took out the trash is the starting player and receives the starting player card. If none of the players at the table have ever taken out the trash, then the player with the messiest apartment begins the game. Well, that already is the setup, but how is the game played? To explain the gameplay, let's look at the card's anatomy. A card can be played as trash or as a container. If played as trash, you play the card vertically and look at its main part. The number denotes the volume of the trash and the color the type of trash. Gray cards are residual waste, blue cards depict paper, yellow cards are used for glass, orange cards depict plastic, and green cards are used for fruit and vegetable waste. You can also play the card horizontally, then the card counts as a container instead. Now only the information at the side of the card is interesting. Each card has two containers, the left one being slightly smaller. Also, both containers match one of the 5 different types again. Alright, now on to the gameplay. Beginning with the starting player, all players take clockwise turns to play one hand card as container. All these containers are placed in a row. Then all players select all cards they'd like to play this round. The other cards are put aside and not used this round. The selected cards are shuffled, and then the players put that stack as a small draw pile face down in front of them. Beginning with the starting player, the players each take a turn until all players have either played all their cards of the personal mini deck or have passed. In your turn you have two options. You can reveal the top card of your mini deck and then must play it into one of the containers in the middle of the table. Be mindful of the fact that the type of trash needs to match the container and the container needs to have enough space. If you can't play the drawn card, you immediately lose the round and must take all remaining cards in all players' mini decks. Alternatively, you can also pass and add your mini deck to your draw pile you set aside, also adding an additional card from the draw pile. The other players continue playing without you. At the end of the round, all played containers and trash cards are collected and put on the discard pile. The starting player card is passed on to the next player in clockwise direction and the new round begins. One note: like in most deck builders, when the common draw pile is empty, you shuffle the discard pile to form the new draw pile. Whenever a player manages to get rid of their very last card, the game ends immediately. That player wins that game of mini containers. And this is how you play the game mini containers. So what do I think about it? The game nicely shakes up the push your luck mechanism by giving the players more agency regarding the specific cards that the players can pull from in the respective round. Do you want to be safe by having less cards with maybe smaller numbers in your mini deck, or do you want to risk it and include more cards? I really like such decisions in games. I also really enjoyed the theme. Recycling is an important topic, and I can't think of any game having touched that subject yet. Not only that, but the theme fits the gameplay incredibly well. That's quite a feat for any game. Very well done. The form factor of the game is great. It's just a deck of cards in a pretty small box. Also, the game plays up to 6 players, so you can not only take the game anywhere, but also play it at a lot of different player counts. Since the game is very accessible and light on rules, you can also play it with pretty much everyone. It's very helpful that the game is language independent, increasing the possible player base even further. When you're done with the base game, you can add to it by playing with one of several modules that are part of mini containers. There is, for example, the thrift shop module. Thrift shops can be played instead of containers, but they have no type and no volume. Every thrift shop has enough room for one trash card of every type. Their volume is not important. Of course, this does change your tactic quite a lot and keeps each game fresh. There also is a dummy module that lets you play solo against an AI. This increases the amount of player counts even more. One thing I experienced that I'm not a big fan of is that the game can be over very quickly when playing at a low player count. When playing at a 2-player count, there were games that only lasted 2 or 3 rounds. Maybe that can be mitigated by using a module or two. Regarding the components, I can't say much. For this preview, I received a prototype copy, which of course does not reflect the final product you would be backing on Kickstarter. But I definitely do like the simplicity of the art design. All in all, I definitely enjoyed playing the game. I like push your luck games, and mini containers not only has a unique theme, but also a nice twist regarding the mechanism. If the game speaks to you, why don't you check out the Kickstarter that will launch on October 22nd this year? I will definitely be keeping an eye on the campaign. Alright, if you're still watching, thank you very much for doing so. If you like this video, please consider letting me know, and while you're at it, why don't you check out my channel? I post several videos a week that I put a lot of care into. It'd be great to see you there. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Take care and cheers.